Hello and welcome back to this channel. I am your host, Eddie Kanobot, and this is Isaac News. As you know already, our job here on Isaac News is to bring you up to speed with amazing things happening in Nigeria. So you know that's happened in the year 2022, and we're going to try to bring you reports as they pop up. So today on Isaac News, we're going to be looking at Nigeria's non-oil export performance in the year 2022. So Nigeria has done well in its non-oil export revenue generation in the year 2022 as it records a 39.91% increase in its non-oil export performance. This is huge. So we've seen exports surge in agriculture. We've seen it increase in semi-processed goods. We've seen it increase in the manufacturing sector. We've seen non-oil exports increase in diverse sectors of the economy. So we're going to be bringing you figures, bringing you the reasons behind this, the things that may have facilitated the increase that we have experienced in recent times. So I'd like you to stick around, get a pen and a paper, jot down, make comment, and don't forget to like, to share, to comment on these videos. And I've been advocating in more recent times in my most recent videos that if you listen to me, in fact, if you listen to any information on any platform, it's the best thing to do is to research. Okay, let's be people that research, things that confirm, that cross-check the things we hear on air, the things we hear on YouTube, the things we hear anywhere we hear them. Let's have that habit of cross-checking, and reevaluating the news we hear to ensure that the things we've heard are true and are accurate. So without any further ado, let's get right into today's video. All right, moving on. Nigeria recorded an increase of 39.91% non-oil export performance in 2022 compared to the performance in 2021. We have experienced an increase of 39.91%. That's huge. A 39.91% increase in our non-oil export revenue compared to the revenues generated in the year 2021. So the Nigerian Export Promotion Council, NEPC, said that this translates to about $4.820 billion in non-oil export earnings for the year 2022. So our non-oil export earnings in dollars amounts to about $4.820 billion. Okay, this is the highest in the agency's 47-year history. This is the highest amount of money we've ever gotten from non-oil export in the Nigerian Export Promotion Council's 47 years history. So they have been documenting for about 47 years now, and we have never in our 47-year history ever pulled in $4.820 billion in non-oil export earnings. You should understand that Nigeria is a heavily dependent oil export-based economy. It doesn't just have to do with crude oil. As we speak right now, in some of my videos I've made in recent times, I have brought to our attention the amount of investment the Nigerian government is putting into expanding its gas operations. Okay, the Nigerian oil economy is more of a gas dependent economy than oil. I'm speaking with reference to the amount of natural gas reserves we have in comparison with the amount of crude oil reserve we have. So we have give or take about $40 billion, 40 billion, 40 billion barrels of crude oil reserve. What this means is that we have a lot of gas reserve compared to the amount of crude oil reserves we have in the country. So I'm making efforts to see how to diversify, from being an oil-dependent economy, to be an economy that can, thrive from its oil industry, its agricultural industry, its manufacturing industry, its export industry, its service industry, its tourism industry, and even entertainment, sport, arts, and the rest. Okay, there's a lot that we are putting in place to ensure that the raw materials we have in the country in terms of mineral resources, mines and steel and other things, are being harnessed to their fullest potential. So this is the reason why we've seen an increase in non-oil export revenue. All right, moving on. It would interest you to know that these figures we have mentioned here, were gleaned from data collected from various pre-shipment inspection agents appointed by the federal government under the Pre-Shipment Inspection Act. This current result, referring to the 39.91% increase, lends credence to the fact that the several export intervention programs and projects that have been initiated by this council, the Nigerian Export Promotion Council, and other agencies during this year 2022 is gradually yielding the desired result. Is why we are seeing an increase in non-oil exports to the tune of 4.82 billion dollars. That is huge. It would also interest you to know that the CEO of the NEPC, the Nigerian Export Promotion Council, said that about 214 different products ranging from manufactured, semi-processed, solid minerals to raw agricultural products were exported in the year 2022. Some of these exported products would include urea and fertilizer, which top the list. And you should understand why urea and fertilizer top the list. Okay, we've had some mega adjustment in our urea and fertilizer complex and industry, with the recent launching of the Dangote fertilizer plant. So as we speak now, the highest non-oil export in Nigeria right now is fertilizer, urea and fertilizer. And not just because of the mighty work done by Dangote, but also because of the expansion of the Indorama fertilizer complex located in Rivers State, in Eleme to be more specific. So they have gone on to also expand their production capacity, and this has led to a surge in non-oil export, particularly fertilizer and urea, which has overtaken agricultural exports. We should also understand the effect of the Russia-Ukraine war in the high demand for urea and fertilizer. Russia, being the third largest producer of crude oil, in the world, is also one of the largest producers of fertilizer and urea. So the recent restrictions and sanctions that have been placed on Russia has led to scarcity of these products in the international market, which has led to high demand. And Nigeria has tried its best in this period to see how to fill the void that has been created by the sanctions imposed on Russia. Also, the war in Ukraine has also led to a decrease in agricultural export. We know that Ukraine is the food basket of Europe, is one of the largest producers of grain in the whole world, and this war has drastically affected their production capacity, which has also given more room to high demand for agricultural produce, which Nigeria has tried to see how to contribute in its own little quota. It is also worthy to note that our products were exported to over 122 countries, with Brazil recording the highest import value of over 12%. So 12% of our non-oil export went to a single nation, the country Brazil. So in subsequent videos, we'll be looking at the performance of the agro industry. We'll be looking at the performance of the manufacturing industry. We're looking at the performance of some sub sectors or sub industries within the whole within Nigeria's economy. But in an overall performance in the year 2022 has been good. The oil industry began to come back to life in the fourth quarter, the last quarter of 2022, as we saw a huge fight on oil theft and pipeline vandalism, and the acquisition of private security to help secure the pipelines, and the use of technology in order to monitor pipeline and to monitor illegal connections to the pipeline. That saw an increase in oil production in the last quarter of last year, and right now we produce over 1.69 million barrels of crude oil per day. That's a high increase. When we look at our OPEC quota for Nigeria, it's about 1.8 million barrels per day, and we're already producing over 1.6 million barrels per day. That's amazing. Our non-oil exports also is not lagging behind. This is one of the best performances we have seen as a nation in our non-oil sector. Now, this is good news for the country. This shows that the interventions, the plan, the restructuring the committees that have been set up, committees like PEBEC, committees like NEPC, the committees like the NCDMB. We have other committees, and other presidential initiatives that have been set up by the president to ensure things are going on smoothly. The minister involved in the sector regarding the ease of doing business, has been doing a good job also. A lot is going on to unbottle most of these bureaucratic bottlenecks. It is not, it's not a one-day job. It's not something that can be done in a day. These are decades old mistakes we are trying to see how to undo. So please be patient with the nation. Follow it properly. Follow the news, follow the trends, follow this channel, and understand how things really work. Things don't just happen at a snap of a finger. There's a lot that needs to go in. There's a lot that needs to go into changing things for the better, and we're on course, to seeing this nation rise to becoming a manufacturing hub by the year 2025. So this is where I'm going to end for today's video. I'd like you to like the video, share your thoughts in the comment section, and just keep staying positive. Like I say, please research, follow Ajuri Ngelale. He's someone you really try to listen to. As she's the SSA to the president on public affairs. So he's in the center of things happening, and he can give you good information as to the things happening in the nation. So please follow people, not just myself, who are putting out good content of things happening in the nation, because of the perspective we all ought to have. We can't just hear only bad news. We ought to also know the good things happening in the country, so we can have a balanced perspective as to the trajectory this nation is currently on right now. Okay, before I talk too much, as I often do, till we see again, Godspeed.